Phillips, and this is the data-informed solution plan for Bank of America. This is the company overview. Bank of America is one of the biggest financial institutions, as we all know, and in the United States, and has a history of back to 1904. The bank has some missions and visions, which is to serve low and moderate income individuals and families, improve underserved, low and moderate income communities, and create sustainable practices for the long haul. Now, Bank of America is the second biggest bank, as we know, and has over $1 trillion in total assets. Bank of America has a branch network with over of about 4,600 in the United States today, and a customer base of well over 46 million. Bank of America is regarded as the biggest in terms of customer base. We are going to look at the PESTEL analysis. The PESTEL analysis is meant to be conducted to help us check the macroeconomic factors that affect the banking industry directly or indirectly. Bank of America operates in an environment where in an industry where the industry is highly regulated and has a lot of impact on this. Now, looking at the PESTEL analysis, let's look at the political factor. The political factor, we have, for example, it's the election of 2016 between Hillary Clinton and President Trump. That had a serious impact on the stock market, and which affect the bank stocks, and with serious fluctuation. Talking about the economic factor, this is very crucial to the existence of the bank. Also, we talk about the social factor, which is also very, very crucial to the existence of the bank, such as diversity, and which is one of the major factors in terms of social. Then we talk about the technology. Technology, as we know, banking industry is one of the major drivers of what happens in the technical environment. In the technology environment, banks have so much impact and so much role to play in there, because every time that we see the need for banks to upgrade, we see the need for banks to re-engineer and change the ways of their operations. Now, in the environment, we see that in the environment, we see that it's a place like California. We see a place like that having a lot of Hispanics, which also, if you go to Bank of America, they had to employ a lot of Hispanics to keep their business going. Now, let's talk about the legal part. In the legal part, we see that the bank is governed by different laws, like the labor laws and so on. Now, the SWOT analysis. We are discussing about the SWOT analysis to check out the strengths, weakness, and the opportunities and the threat that lies that affect the banking industry. Now, some of the strengths, if some of these analyses are done, we see the strengths, we see the enormous brand value of the bank, and which is really, really a serious threat to the strength to them. We see the opportunities, the weakness, the threats. The business problem. The Bank of America presently operates on a archaic data processing system, old and outdated, which is not being used anymore. The enterprise data management system, which has hindered its transactional processes, both in the front and the back end. This makes customers' transactions become so slow that these customers will have to leave the bank and go use the service of their competitors. Proposed actionable BI systems. I am proposing SAP S4 HANA, the cloud solution, as a business intelligence tool for them to enhance their operations and make their operations better. This is going to help them to integrate all other departments of the bank, and so it helps for proper and swift data collection. This is the overview of the operational areas that is affected by these project, such as the data operations and the entire IT department, the customer service department, the human resources department, the financial control. These are departments that will highly be impacted. This is the timeline, and proposed according to the timeline it's going to take 1 good year for the 6 stages of the agile methodology to be used. This is the gap analysis conducted and the required capabilities versus the existing capabilities. The future state, we see the future states to have a very effective and efficient customer predictive method, so as to maintain good customer relationship and reduce poor reviews by 80%. So they are trying to make sure they reduce the poor reviews they get online because of the poor service they render to their customers. And the present state is that the data management method is so old and outdated. It doesn't allow for fast operations of data, so customers will have to wait too long in the branch for them to be well attended to. So they spend a lot of time in the bank queuing up to make sure their transactions. And we know that Bank of America has a lot of customers, and because this is having so much impact on their database, and so they need to come up with upgraded systems. Now, the processes, the tools, and the staffing. The current data management process in Bank of America gives no room for proper data quality, which affects its entire operations. As we know, the Bank of America, there is no proper ETL. So in that way, from the front end to the back end, data flows from the front end to the back end without being well sieved. So no ETL process on ground. So we are proposing that, even as we propose the SAP S/4HANA, we are proposing ETL process to be added to this. So I am proposing a tool like Informatica, which will help sieve the data, and which at the end of the day help transfer the data from the OLTP to the OLAP. This is data collection processes and data management infrastructure. Now we have the data process on the left, and we have the data management infrastructure on the left. If you see the data collection, we see that, okay, we want to locate a site or individual. I want to locate where this data are. We want to gain access into this data. We want to make sure that purposefully sampling this data. We want to make sure that collecting the data, we collect it effectively. We want to make sure that recording information, we want to record information to make sure that the appropriate data are being collected. We want to resolve fields and issues that we might see in this data after being well cleaned, and at the end of the day we want to store this data so that for proper analysis. Now, data mining methodologies. This is the data mining methodologies. It has been defined in this project in order to help define a certain pattern within available data. A process has been adopted in order to maintain a data mining practice which helps maintaining consistency. So from here, we want to determine the business objective, data understanding, determining the mining objectives, and data preparations and analysis, the modeling, evaluation, and the deployment. The data analysis techniques. Now, the data analysis techniques, the standard data analysis method proposed for the Bank of America would help in finding the latest trends in the industry. So Bank of America is expected to adopt this tool that will allow effective review of its data, which may include reports and queries. Data Cube is also proposed to help in proper drill down of data and extract important details for better insights and decision making. We can see the diagram. In this way, we want to make sure that the raw data is collected, would transfer this data to somewhere which data is processed, we want to make sure that we do exploratory data analysis in it, and after it's been processed, the data is well cleaned. When the data is well cleaned, we assign some serious models and algorithms, and communicate and validate report, and the data it's out for as a good product. Monitoring and reporting. I am proposing different monitoring tools and analysis and reporting tools like Tableau, Power BI, ClickView, MicroStrategy, Excel. Well, for the purpose of analysis, I've chosen all this. These are wonderful tools to help Bank of America to perform its analysis. A good diagram of Tableau is on the right, which gives how Tableau helps to analyze data in different forms. This is the type, the quantity, and the cost. Now, I have chosen 3 different products to analyze these 3 different products. And as we can see based on the cost, we want to choose something that is cost effective and so much efficient also. SAP S/4HANA has been proven to be a very wonderful business intelligence tool that will help Bank of America to move its process to a well operational process. So SAP S/4HANA is cheap compared to this, but very, very efficient in the same line with the other product. So we are proposing for them to choose this. Now, this is where we calculate the return on investment, and also what are the benefits. Now, the upper part tells us about the cost and against the total benefit, and we can see the return on investment as for SAP S/4HANA 1.68, even if it's if the return on investment, if the total benefit is just 21 million. And we want to see, if you see the Microsoft Dynamics NAV, which is giving about 23 million higher, but the return on investment is just 1.63. So compared to also with the other one, which is Oracle Business Suite, which is 21 million, as a return on investment of 1.41. So right now we are proposing for SAP S/4HANA, because SAP S/4HANA is going to yield a good and favorable return on investment. And here is the conclusion of my presentation. So the full execution of this BI solution will surely help maximize the use of real-time data and allow for better insight. So it's a tool that will help Bank of America in decision making. It will help integrate all other departments, and so the deployment of this BI solution will also help reduce excess spending allotted to multiple data reporting, and combines the efforts of the newly integrated complete SAP platforms. So I want to say thank you, because this, I believe, is the best product that we can ever use for Bank of America data processes, so that their operation will go smoothly. Thank you so much.